Danny, aka Neko Yasha, and we have a special Girls' Day episode featuring my girl Mermaid Moonchild and Ash the Conqueror. And we're going to be kicking it off with some great fun facts about great things that Black women have been doing in the month of March to help get near the end of March's Women's History Month.
Hey, International Women's History. You know what's cool that I realized, or that I just learned? I feel like there's more national months now than there ever been in the history of the world. But next month is supposed to be International Black Women's History Month. So,
really?
Yeah, so.
I thought next month was Asian History Month, or is that May?
I think that's May.
Only thing I saw for next month was the Black History Month piece of it, but we should just make every month Black History Month.
Yeah.
May is the start of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Okay.
Yeah, so
we definitely have stuff we can talk about related to that. But
yeah.
Hopefully by May that won't be a topic anymore. But
right. Hopefully.
But it's America. I have little hope.
America. where we are always the scapegoats. We're always that kid on Scooby-Doo, on a pup named Scooby-Doo. He's like
red herring.
Yeah, we're always the red herring. It's like we didn't do nothing.
The fact that they named that kid Red Herring was just too.
His name is perfect.
So many levels. Thank you, Freddie. Well, all right, let's see. So, good old March 1st was the Golden Globes, and Miss Andra Day was the first Black woman in 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all heard that. 35 years to win a Golden Globe. The person who won it before that, our girl Whoopi. The good old Color Purple. That wonderful, almost 4-hour-long movie of just make you just want to cry. And then our girl Hallie almost won it in 2002 for Monster Ball, but that ain't pan out. But
I know where they're gonna let Monsters Ball slide through.
Just like, did anyone even watch Monsters Ball?
I hear about it.
It was a tough watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has a lot of interesting dynamic. Hallie's character is very interesting in that movie. As far
I heard
as,
she was a drug addict.
Yeah, and the links she would go are they're deep and wide. Not necessarily the type of Black images in the media we want to see getting awards. But I think it's interesting. Whoopi was the last one who won it for Color Purple, because we always win awards for like slave narratives. So not like she was a slave, but she definitely was not free.
It was. It's just one of those. It was still a movie about trauma.
Yeah,
it's always Black women trauma.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because the Color Purple, I think James Baldwin talked about that. Sorry, when Alice Walker wrote it, like he was talking about how uncomfortable it was to read, but that came out at a time where Black women writers were getting attention. And I think the Black women writers, they wanted to shed light on the trauma that Black women did face from their own community. So that was like her that was the background of that. Mm-hmm. I remember having a conversation about that. It was very annoying. This guy was like, "Not all Black men," and I hate when men say that.
Soon as I hear that, I just see like a pile of ash I gotta blow through. Yeah. And be like, hold up. Yeah. Let me grab some lotion. Put this on your hands. Put this on your elbows. Get in between your fingers.
Exactly. So I agree with y'all though. I like, once again, the problem is that they only pick those. There should be a plethora of narratives about us. Yeah. But that shouldn't be the only narrative.
But that's what sells in Hollywood. Black trauma.
Yeah. But they don't want to give us reparations. They don't want to give us no good credit. They don't want to let us go into school for free, but they love to watch us get whipped and yelled at.
All slurs.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we start to see some more progress as we have more Black producers and Black film writers coming on the scene that are really making their mark, because now the stories are starting to look a lot different. I think that we've gotten some really good storylines on Black people and Black power outside of coming through some tragic, traumatic storyline here in the last few years. So
yeah,
hopefully we keep that momentum up. We just got to keep supporting our creators.
Yep.
Yep.
Forward.
Speaking of creators, another Black woman who did some really powerful art early in the month of March is Sonia Clark. So she has an art exhibit called Tatter, Bristle, and Mend. It features works of art that confront themes of race and visibility and just what it is to be Black. And it's going to be on display at the National Museum of Women in the Arts in DC until May 31st. So she released that, or that opened up on March 3rd, which is pretty cool. I don't live in DC, but we have some team members who live in DC. Hopefully they can check it out and take some pictures or something.
Let's all force Damn Dad Bod to go to the museum and
say,
take pictures.
Hint, Damn Dad Bod, check it out for us.
We want pictures.
Right.
You're the only one that's close enough to go.
Yeah, so I think like I said, art is taking a turn, and being able to put Black stories at the forefront of media with strong Black voices seems to be the new normal. So I'm excited to see what else we get out of this, especially with women leading the charge. Not to say that men leading the charge won't yield the same fruit, but it won't yield the same fruit.
It won't. It won't.
When women do it, it's always different.
Yeah.
Let's see what else happened in March. Janet Jackson is getting a documentary made about her life, so she does not have to be the side character in a 4-hour. Shoot, the Michael Jackson movie was long.
It was like 4 hours.
It was like 4 hours. It felt like 4 days. And Janet Jackson just appeared and disappeared. It was crazy.
Like she did, even the actress that played like the 3 different stages of Janet, she was just like there, gone, there, and then gone again.
Yeah. Right. So on March 4th, Lifetime and A&E announced that they are releasing a Janet Jackson documentary in 2022. So we get another story about
Lifetime, though.
You know, Lifetime didn't do too bad with some of the more recent films. They do away from their trauma drama storylines too.
Didn't they do the Michael Jackson one? And didn't
they a long time ago?
Okay, didn't they also do that TLC one?
Didn't they do that really bad Aaliyah one? And they got someone that didn't look like Aaliyah at all.
I think they've learned since then and have hired the right people, because they did the Clark sisters documentary.
Oh yeah, I heard that was
done
good.
very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one was done very
okay.
Well.
I will still be watching with caution, but just
let's just hope they have the right
Janet.
people on the film. You know, if they have Black people and Black fan, I mean, it's like everybody knows Janet Jackson. Everybody who could have grown up watching and being a fan of Janet Jackson is old enough to potentially be in that writing room. So like they should have the right type of people in the writing room, on hair and makeup, on costuming, and managing cultural colloquialism so that they're not saying stupid stuff like, hey, brother man. We'll see though.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I'm just happy our girl Janet's getting the justice she deserves.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. She is an icon, but because of Justin Timberlake
and his stupid half-ass too late.
Didn't he make an apology this month? And it's like
half-ass, too many years, too late.
Just give me the money that I didn't make over the past years.
He still ain't even take the blame for what he did to both Janet and Britney. Like,
right.
But you know what? In like true Color Purple, like just to bring it back to Color Purple, like Till You Do Right by Me, Justin Timberlake fell off and like he like fell off. Like he had a couple more years of glory, and then it was just like, he made that weird lumberjack album.
Yeah.
And that didn't slap. But yeah, he that's probably why he apologized. That Black Girl Magic hit him hard.
Right.
Yep. It came through, drain those pockets dry. So
like pay up, honey.
Yeah. Because I watched the way they treated her in interviews, because I think one of the YouTubers that I watched, he was talking about it. And I remember she was doing an interview for Why Did I Get Married? Because I think she was in that movie.
Yeah, she was in
And the newscaster was like, oh, did you flash anyone? How you feel about... And like the way that they talked to her was absolutely disgusting. I can't believe that they got away with talking to her like that. And I feel so sorry that she had to go through that and no one protected her.
Ooh, that word, protection. That actually leads to the next topic. March 7th, we all got to witness the Meghan Markle interview with Oprah. Whew, and that was all about protection or lack thereof by the Crown, or what they call it, the firm.
The firm.
that was such a ominous, like Olivia Pope scandal type term. But that Meghan Markle and Oprah interview is women's history. Like that was a beautiful moment to witness. A Black woman interviewing a Black woman about her truth and how she's been wronged by the patriarchy and literally the crown. Like,
literally.
With her man on her side.
Right. Because you could just tell on girl's face she wanted to say so much, but she knew she couldn't because of the position she was in. But that's why we was glad her husband was there to go, no.
But wait, there's more. He hit us with the hard facts back to back to back, where she knew if she spoke up, she would just become more villainized. Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy, the dichotomy between how the world treated Meghan and how the world treated Kate. And as soon as they could create a storyline of beef between these two powerful women, they ran with it. And that was sad. That was really sad.
It was sad because I saw, like, especially watching it in real time too, it was horrible because like people, like obviously us in the States didn't pay much attention to it because of, Britain, US, there's a whole cultural like thing, but what the headlines, if you saw like the tabloids, you could clearly see it, especially since I work retail. I would see like People magazine, for example, and Star, and they would have like both of them on it, but the way they presented both of them on the covers, it was very polarizing, and I'm just like, interesting. I see what y'all doing, but all right.
And like this has also been a very hard conversation for some Black women as well. I have friends who are darker skinned Black women, and some of them say Meghan Markle is not Black, she's biracial, which is something that it's hard for me to exactly say that. I understand where they're coming from though, but I've seen a lot of Black women who are darker skinned especially saying, if she looked Black, because she doesn't even look Black. Like if you didn't see her mom, would you know that she's Black?
Nah,
her exes kind of give it away from time to time. I ain't gonna
but she definitely gives off that racially ambiguous look. If not,
she does look racially ambiguous.
Or if not, at the best, depending on what type of photo you see, she does look like kind of like a tan Italian woman.
Right, and they're like, if she was darker, she wouldn't even be in that palace. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't even get the protection. And a lot of them are saying like, there's so many like darker skinned Black women, non-ambiguous looking Black women who don't get that protection, who don't get that help that she still is getting. Like, it's unfortunate what's happening to her, but she's still getting a lot of help. They're still getting a lot of help, and I mean, that's an interesting perspective. I think it's something to pay attention to. And people are also wondering, would she get a lot of flack if they didn't know that her mother was Black?
Mm-hmm.
Would she still get that?
And I think, you know, honestly, inherently, I think that even the conversation you've been having with some of your friends who, you know, are darker skinned, is inherently the problem with how we face these situations and how we Black women remain allies for other Black women. Because in spite of her being biracial, guess what she was to the Crown? Black.
Yeah.
Super Black. It doesn't matter that her skin is almost like
Right.
they didn't care one bit, to the point that they sat and debated on, while she was with child, how dark the baby would be, as if he wasn't gonna only be a quarter Black.
Right. And it's like they all skip science class, and it's like, listen, she's already light skinned and her husband's clearly pale. Odds are,
Ginger.
the odds of of this unborn child being light skinned is extremely high.
Yeah,
that's what got me. It's like
the odds for that child, even that child's probably gonna be white. What?
Like that kid's
he looks like
that
he's
kid's
about the same shade as Drake's
white.
son. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is super light, super duper light. So one, the fact that they were worried about it is ignorant, but also it still doesn't change the fact that once he was born, they're not giving him a title.
Right.
He will have protection because he is still a Black man, no matter what the tone of his skin is. So amongst ourselves, I think we have to do a much, 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 much better job of saying she's Black and we have to protect her, regardless of how other people have treated other people in our race. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Meghan Markle and Harry have a foundation just focused on empowering Black people. That's it. So it's not on biracial people. It's not on light-skinned people. It's for Black people. So we have to remove that narrative from our conversations about ourselves and focus the narrative on removing colorism as a piece of the conversation outward. So for the viewers who remember the last Girls Talk episode we did together, which was on texturism, March 7th was, not only did we get the Meghan Markle interview on March 7th, which referenced The Crown, on March 7th, the Crown Act actually passed in its 8th state. So Crown actually stands for Create a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair. So our last episode was on texturism. We talked about texturism and its root in colorism. So it's interesting that these two things happen on the same day. But basically, this act protects people with natural hair, people who wear protective styles, from discrimination in their workplace, as well as in school. And it makes that discrimination illegal. So that act or that bill has been passed in Connecticut. It's also passed in New York, California, New Jersey, Washington, and Maryland. And right now it's sitting with the House of Representatives, waiting for a vote by the Senate to see if we can take it
so it can be applied. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh gosh.
I actually kind of misspoke. The House of Representatives actually passed it in September of last year. So it's with the Senate for their pass-fail.
That's the real hard part, is the Senate, because
true.
I have my fingers crossed that I can hope for the best, but I am expecting the worst because it's America.
So what about you guys? Has anything meaningful happened for you guys in March? As a woman, have you felt like you've moved the needle this month?
Not this month.
Yeah. I mean, I finally submitted a poem. It's been a long time. Yeah. I submitted to Obsidian, which is an HBCU made journal for Black voices. I kind of like it, actually, because when I submitted my poem, they're like, please let us know if you're of African descent. I really liked that. Because a lot of times those journals will ask for, poems and stories that are of the Black narrative, and they not asking who wrote it. And then you got these white people like, yes, I was in chains. And you're like, wait, what?
What?
What did you just write?
Wait a minute.
So can we get a little sample of your poem, Ash the Conqueror?
Give us a little flow of your poem.
Yes, let me see here. It's short. It's called What Onyx Silk I Am Blessed to Have.
Okay.
I'm here for the imagery. Ooh.
Okay. What onyx silk I am blessed to have, dancing in my blood. Platinum wigs that are planets on the outer space skin. I have both open and closed ends in my DNA. Loose and buttoned up women free as cells in my body. They must have been the first women. Why else would even their oppressors want to be in their image? So it's pretty short. It's about my aunts and my ancestors. They did what they wanted.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great.
For sharing that with us. Thank you. And for those who don't know, apparently World Poetry Day is March 21st. So it just passed us, guys. It's a UN recognized holiday. So shout out to Ash the Conqueror 202 for that beautiful poem. If y'all didn't know, she was out here doing her poet thing. So make sure you check her out in her other avenues. But what else? What else has gone down in March? Because I think we touched on a lot of classy things, but some good old-fashioned ratchetry has happened in March.
Yes.
that is so empowering, and I'm so happy that we all got a chance to witness it. Everybody who knows me knows that my good sis is Cardi B, the prophetess Bel Callis, as I call her.
Yes.
And the prophetess herself became the first female rapper to achieve a diamond single on March 9th. Bodak Yellow was certified diamond, y'all. That means it's moved 10 million units. That was like her first mainstream single, and that shit still slaps.
Yeah, it does.
It do.
If it comes on, it's still gonna bump. That was a great single, and I was a fan of Cardi's when she was just on Instagram making stupid videos. So to see who she is today versus who she was back then and the work she put into that is an inspiration to say the very least.
It's beautiful. In sports relatedness, we got our first Black woman to officiate the NFL 2021 football season. I am probably about to butcher her name because they did not put a way to pronounce this in the article I read, but I think it's Maya. I'm pretty sure it's Maya. But Maya Chaka, she's 38. Y'all, we about to see some melanin on the field because she was already officiating NCAA games, and the NFL is like, you know what? We're putting you in on our season now. So for those that are still not boycotting football, I'm not judging. I swear I'm not judging because football is still exciting. Please be on the lookout for a girl representing out there for the culture. And then this brings us into my neck of the woods, the lovely former Cleveland House of Representative Marcia L. Fudge. She is now the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and she is the second Black woman to lead this agency since Patricia Roberts Harris was appointed by Jimmy Carter in 1977. And this is so monumental because Marcia really has been doing so much for the state of Ohio, especially Northeast Ohio, which was where her district was. Like, you would always see her out at the Black community-led events, out there raising her voice, letting things and injustices being known, and putting, I forget who. I think it's still Frank. It's still the mayor of Cleveland, putting him in his place for all of his shenanigans when he wasn't stepping up to the plate. Like, Marcia Fudge is that girl. I love her. I voted for her many, many times. And I still remember when she came to our high school back in the day to talk to us about what it's like to be a Black woman in politics. And so I'm so happy to see this for her in her political career.
That's exciting.
Oh.
And she ousted Ben Carson. Like, come on.
Listen, she comes for people's throats. Like she I feel like she's one of like the black representatives in the House besides Auntie Maxine.
Maxine
Yeah.
the Queen, she be out there too, and it's great. But Marcia, she's like out there too. It's just she doesn't make headlines as much because she's like she keeps to Ohio a lot. That's why. Which is I don't blame her because Maxine doing that work too, getting it out there on the national platform, which is extremely hard. But I'm glad to see that Marcia is just strictly trying to help locally where she can in the state, and then speaks out when she has to be spread her voice out for when it comes to like the House issues, which is great.
Nice.
I learned something new today.
Oh, good stuff happening in March for Black women. You know, it's again, if next month really is International Black Women's History Month, I'm just saying we showed out in regular Women's History Month too. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely need to see how the needle continues to move in the direction of Black women winning for the rest of 2021. And I think we'll see a lot of that because Goldman Sachs actually just made this huge investment, over $10 billion to advance racial equity and economic opportunity for Black women. It's actually, the initiative is called 1 Million Black Women. And I know when you start to hear that, it gets a little questionable that Goldman Sachs is the one who is driving this initiative, but they actually did the right thing. And they're ensuring that this initiative is being shaped by Black women within Goldman Sachs. They have a 10,000 small business program that is led by Black women organizations. So AKAs, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, the National Council of Negro Women, Power Rising, Black Women's Roundtable, and the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation, the Walker's Legacy Foundation, and Sisters in Business Expo, as well as the Links Incorporated. These organizations are going to be leading the charge on impacting the lives of at least 1 million Black women by 2030 through this program. So there are a ton of Black women leaders that we should be looking out for from Goldman Sachs to really continue to drive all this momentum that we've been seeing coming from strong Black women this month. I'm excited about that program.
Same. This one is litty. Like we stay winning.
Yep.
You know something you talked about, Ashley, colorism, and that being something we don't see enough characters that are darker skinned coming through. You want to know who's helping to change that narrative? And it's funny because she is a child. I mean, she's not a child. She's
She's
young.
a teenager. She's a
young.
teenager now.
She's young. Marcy Martin. She, you know, from Blackish. For those who've seen the show, she played Diane on Blackish. She's killing the game. You know, she produced that movie.
Little.
Oh,
yeah,
With her and
produced
Taraji.
Little.
I can't think of the name
Yeah.
of it. I watched the movie and I can't think of the name of it right now.
That was a cute movie.
Yeah, and she was like the youngest like producer. So
Yeah, so she was the youngest producer of film at that point. She now just became the youngest executive producer for a Disney show. So she has a production company called Genius Entertainment, and Genius Entertainment is now working on a pilot series for Disney called Saturdays. And it's a series about a girl and her interest in competitive roller skating. And it's gonna follow her and her friends through that narrative. It's going to be, the cast is almost exclusively darker skinned people.
hey, yes.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
Black teen girls in varying shades, diving into roller skating culture, which is very Black, little do people know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
And it also is highlighting young Black teens with disabilities. So this show is going to be amazing. She has really done a great job in her very short time here on this planet.
Yeah.
Making them rounds,
Making sure that
strides.
we are seeing the full face of Black people, Black teenagers, Black kids, in her works of art. She is a force. I'm excited to see more from her in the coming years, because
I'm
she's
excited.
doing what people 2 and 3 times her age have had so much time to do and haven't even tapped into it at all.
Ooh, who wants to kick off with all the Grammy winners?
The Grammys was wild. The Black Girl Magic was crazy. And outside of the winners, that Cardi B and Megan WAP performance.
Listen, it had all the white women, all the white moms clutching their pearls.
They need to clutch their pearls and take some lessons, okay? That was a wild performance.
It was like, why are they doing this? I'm like, first of all, why are your kids up this late?
Why are kids watching the Grammys? Why do they care about who won a Grammy?
Right.
Don't they have the Kids' Choice Awards?
Yeah, they have not only the Kids' Choice Awards that comes on Nickelodeon, they also have the Teens' Choice Awards, which comes on either, usually I think NBC or ABC, one of the BC channels. So they have their own award shows.
Yeah.
It's man, good. You know what? Like, I'm sure, you know, there's been Lady Gaga's or other white women performers that have had just as sexual performances, and they probably don't get half as much as the backlash as these women do.
And obviously, if it was gonna, like, the Grammys knew what Cardi and Megan were gonna do. Somebody had to put that big ass bed on the stage.
Right, they knew what was doing. Somebody up there, some executive, I bet it was a white man, was like, "They're gonna do what? On what? Yeah. You know, that's exactly what went through his head."
But as usual, it was unapologetic, and it was them through and through. So I loved it. It made sense. The song is called Wet Ass Pussy. It's not called anything else. There's no confusion about what this song is about. So,
and even if he had listened to the hilarious radio edit, Wet and Gushy, still
implying the same.
It's still same thing.
Yep.
So the winners. Let's see. You want to take some of these, Danny?
Sure. Okay. So, song of the year was "I Can't Breathe" by H.E.R. Her. Best new artist was our girl Megan Thee Stallion. And best R&B performance was "The Black Parade" by Miss Beyonce.
Texas was live. And let's see, best traditional R&B performance was "Anything for You" by Ledisi. I don't actually know who that is, y'all. I'm sorry. Ledisi, sure.
Thank you.
I don't know. Yes.
I'm so out of touch.
I've never heard. I'm gonna have to go and check this artist out because I actually am unfamiliar. But best R&B song, "Better Than I Imagined" by Robert Glasper, featuring Her and Michelle. It's got a lot of consonants.
Yeah, it does.
Michelle in. And then
I'm not even going to try to butcher it because I would feel awful trying to say that last name. So I'm like, I'm just going to feign my ignorance right here. Like, I do not know how to pronounce that, and I don't.
Ooh,
bless you. I don't want to insult
pride or ego. Having to force myself through this name. Her last name starts with an N.
And I'm like, I don't want to do her injustice. And no, Miss Meshel, I apologize if you somehow hear this podcast.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it honestly was Megan and Beyonce, besides best comedy album, Black Mitzvah by Tiffany Haddish. But then best rap performance, best rap song was Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce, Savage. And best music video was Brown Skin Girl, Beyonce, St. John and Wizkid featuring Blue Ivy Carter. So Blue Ivy got her first Grammy.
Yep, and the people were mad, and I loved it.
Big mad.
All these years, they kept clowning a whole baby for years.
Yep.
Look at her.
Due to texturism.
Yep.
And having her daddy's ethnic features. Look at her.
Features just won a Grammy, boo.
Look at her.
Yep.
Won't she do it? Won't she do it?
So yeah, Beyonce took a lot of awards that night, but I guess the biggest thing was she also made Grammy history that night.
Yeah.
She got her 28th Grammy, meaning that she is the most Grammy winningest person ever as a female artist, and also as a singer. So she's won the most Grammys by a female.
Was she there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly,
Her and Megan were on stage together.
Okay. Oh, she just didn't perform.
Which is funny because
I don't blame her.
I didn't realize I didn't know comedy albums actually got nominated. That was I didn't know that was a thing, and now I'm happy I know that this is a thing because I'm definitely gonna listen to this now.
Tiffany won for the Black people and the Jewish people. You know, that's for our fearless leader. You know, Johnny D falls in that category. So, an interesting win, nonetheless.
I'm definitely gonna look this up later and see what it's about because I'm all about comedy, and the fact that this is a Black Jewish comedy. Okay, let's go.
Why not? Why not?
Definitely.
About this life. And say what you want, Beehive haters. Beyonce did that.
Yep.
That y'all haters have to accept this. She is phenomenal.
Yeah, she is phenomenal. I don't know anyone like her from our time.
Same. Like her,
not many people even could possibly fill those shoes.
Like
except
her
the daughters that she's raising.
Like her and Rihanna are like the only two like Black women that be doing their thing.
Yeah.
And stay winning.
And this is Oscar history. Mia Nia and Jamaica Wilson are the first Black women nominated for hair and makeup artist for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Mia Nia is the hair department head, and Jamaica Wilson is the hairstylist from that movie. And that was a great movie. It was impressive that movie could keep me interested, even though it took place in one area, very play-like, but it was still very good. And then on the 16th of March, it was Rebecca J. Cole's birthday. Who is Rebecca J. Cole? She was the second Black woman physician in the United States. And she helped a lot with hospitals that targeted Black women, where a lot of Black populations would go, especially Black women. She was very invested in the hygiene and of Black women and prenatal health of Black women as well.
I know her. She's in my Black History Women book. Me and my daughters spent a good bit of time talking about her.
That's awesome.
I was obsessed with her. I was like, oh my God, you did that, because she went to an all-white school to get her education, I believe, based on that book. Ooh. And that, imagine how
the trauma. That's the first thing that I thought of. Yeah. Like, people are like, oh, she was the first Black person to go to school, yay! And I'm like,
Woo. I'm sure I've been the first Black person in a lot of settings, and that is not as groundbreaking as it feels, y'all. It's tough.
Nope.
I mean, a short synopsis. A lot of people don't know that free healthcare was first given to enslaved Africans because it was free because they were experiments, essentially.
Guinea pigs.
Yep. So it was empowering to know that she tried to be as much involved in those processes as she could, trying to be the voice of reason when they would try to do terrible things to those patients.
Shout out to Rebecca J. Cole. I think she made a lot of strides for Black women in the obstetrics field. So, an area we still struggle with today. So I'm glad that people like Rebecca are there to have our backs.
Oh yeah, gosh, makes you think of Henrietta Lacks, and that's still so messed up.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yes.
On the 17th of March, we had a 12-year-old prodigy, Elena Wicker. She graduated from high school and will be beginning an undergrad career at Arizona State University, majoring in astronomical and planetary science and chemistry, which sounds hard. Sounds hard. And her goal is to work for NASA as an engineer. That's great. You will have lots of money, sis. Good job. And you're only 12, so you'll be set. I hope that when you get older, you make more STEM programs for Black and brown people, because especially like, oh God, there's just not enough programs. Just not enough.
It's really not.
No. And then also what has happened on the 17th is the House voted to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act, authored by Joe Biden when he was a senator in 1994. Interesting. This law lapsed in 2019 after it stalled in the Republican-led Senate. The bill has been expanded to add dating and partners and stalkers convicted of domestic violence or abuse to the list of those unable to own firearms, and also expands protection for Native American, transgendered, and immigrant women.
Yeah, I'm excited about this act or this bill, whatever you want to call it, coming on the floor and expanding to include more marginalized persons.
Yeah.
The fact that it includes trans people in this is really interesting, and it makes me really happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, think about how, like, violence against women is really high. Violence against Black women is really high. Violence against Black trans women is off the fucking charts. Is off the charts.
It's
so
crazy.
Absolutely.
Super happy to see them getting the representation that they need to be protected. To be protected. So that's great. Let's see. The rest of March. Ooh, March 18th was Queen Latifah's birthday.
Happy birthday,
the Queen!
The original Queen. Queen Latifah's awesome. She has actually done a lot for Black women and Black voices. So happy
much.
Belated birthday, sis.
Yes, very much so.
And thank you for helping out all the queer, LGBT, femme, and female identifying people over the years.
Yeah, I just wish that she would have been able to be as open as she is now earlier.
Yeah.
So that people wouldn't have to, like, unfortunately, Black queer women or people who fall into that category have typically led the same kind of life Queen Latifah had to lead, which is where, we can all see what's up, but there's no talking about it. There's no, and it's not for her to have to put her business out there. But imagine she could have been that voice and that face for other people who look like her and looked up to her, to be themselves unapologetically all the time. That would have been great. But I'm glad that she's able to. I'm glad that she's comfortable enough to be doing these types of things more openly now.
100%.
Best Cleo that I ever listened. Let me tell you something. She put her heart and soul into Cleo and set it off, because that was authentic.
Yeah. I should have known then.
That was a good movie.
Watching that movie when I was younger, I should have known then. Danny, you're not exactly straight.
That's when you was like, wait a minute now.
I was like, why are these women so pretty? Why do I really like Queen Latifah?
I see you been in there with a little wig on.
I'm not gonna lie. Watching Set It Off, I wore cornrows for like months straight after watching that movie. That should have been a sign back then.
Little did she know, influencing the young lives. Thanks, Queen.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, girl.
The Queen. Definitely.
Black girl magic that happened in March 19th. It was announced that Alexandra Bernard Simmons, she is the founder of the Think Like a Boss organization, which is an international women's empowerment organization. They began construction on Seneca Market. And Seneca Market was named after a very Black neighborhood in the tri-state area, but it's going to be the first Black woman-owned grocery store in New Jersey.
Hey!
Fall of 2021, and it's going to be filled with Black products. I don't know what I got to do to get to New Jersey, but I'm going shopping in this grocery store. I know there's lots of Black-owned grocery stores. I think there might even be like a place you can go specifically to target Black grocery stores, like to find where they are in your area.
Oh my God,
But
dope.
I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna do
first
it.
Black woman-owned grocery store is a big deal in that area. So excited to see what Seneca brings to the table, quite literally, in fall of 2021. Another Black woman who I think we all know and probably thoroughly enjoy is Issa Rae. So if you didn't know, Issa Rae has a platform called Radio. They are a program that was launched in 2019 to provide music supervision services across television projects, and also helps to bring under like little known or lesser known musicians some notoriety. If you think about it, Insecure, like the Insecure soundtrack slaps. Every season is amazing. And
absolutely.
If you ever listen back, it's always artists you probably had no idea who they were. So this platform has done a good job of bringing more Black, brown, POC voices to the forefront in the music industry and getting them the recognition and payment they deserve when their music gets used in television series.
Hell yeah.
So Radio actually just inked a multi-year deal to provide exclusive library access and original music to MTV Entertainment Group. So these artists are about to go from, small scale to big scale very, very, very soon, thanks to the awesome works of Issa Rae, who has also done an excellent job of putting different varying shades of Black women, Black men, and Black experiences on television. So I'm a huge fan of her work.
I'm ready. Like, that's
definitely
so awesome. Issa Rae, I love Issa Rae so much.
Yep.
She's dope. She's super dope. And if you never watched Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, go get your life and watch
Please do.
It was amazing.
And I don't know if it's still an option on the Google, but like at one point you could make her voice your Google Voice Assistant. So I don't know if that option. Yeah, no, it was like her, John Legend, like a couple other celebrities, like they did like, like their voice lines and they could be your Google Assistant. And I was just like, click on Issa Rae. Let her talk. Let her be my assistant.
That's it.
So, something to look into.
Yes. All right, and that leads us to our final point on the 21st. Well, it was the 21st. Well, obviously, it was World Poetry Day, and Ashley let us hear her wonderful poem she submitted to Obsidian.
Yes. Also, I just forgot, y'all. I just realized this month I was also given an honorable mention for the Miami Book Fair fellowship because I applied last year, and so I got an honorable mention for my chapbook for those who created science.
Nice.
I forgot about that.
You go, Ashley. You out here sciencing and poetrying up the community, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Oh, can I talk about just a little bit? I don't want to take up too much time of my influences.
You got 30 seconds, Ashley.
Okay, 30 seconds. Okay. Lucille Clifton. Come celebrate with me that every day someone has tried to kill me and failed. That's one of the best. Gwendolyn Brooks, We Real Cool. Nikki Finney, her poem about Hurricane Katrina. Also some poets I want to give a shout out to that I know. Tamika Stanley. Shout out to you, Tamika Stanley, my friend. She's a great poet. She got a fellowship from South Carolina. She's also a sex counselor and educator. She got her master's in social work too. Shout out to you, sis. And Elizabeth Avicino. I always say your last name wrong. I'm so sorry. A few years ago, she won the National Book Award. She is awesome, poet from DC. We're BNV alum. Shout out to y'all. And that's it. That's all I got.
If we're shouting out ourselves and people in our lives who inspire us at this point, I will say shout out to my best friend, Tisha. She is the founder of Woodland Bell Apothecary. She did some great stuff at a pop-up with her candle line this month. and she is launching her website this month. So you will be able to purchase these high vibe, high frequency candles online if you don't have the privilege of being in the wonderful state of Georgia. For myself, Mermaid Moonchild is expanding her services. So I just completed my level 1 Reiki certification this past weekend to continue to provide more hands-on and physical healing services to our community. I think when we're looking for metaphysical ways of healing, sometimes it's hard to find people who look like us that do these types of services. So I'm super excited to be on this journey. In my class, there was another Black girl in there with me. So I'm excited to see how healing ourselves holistically starts to look for us as a community moving forward.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm so proud of you. Look at you.
Yeah.
Because that stuff ain't easy.
No, it's not.
And Danny, you're talking about you didn't do nothing this month. You're going to be on a podcast, another podcast here. So you out here moving and grooving. I don't want to hear that.
I know, Danny.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm just so used to being on podcasts. I'm just like, oh.
I'm like, it's normal. It's normal. It's nothing.
But yeah.
Somebody's got to spread the good word, and that's you, Danny. You out here spreading the good word and cosplaying. Your cosplays, in my opinion, are always so well done, and
I know.
Who Danny is on any given day, you put a lot of effort into your cosplays, and it shows. And I'm fucking with the camera.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I do have good news for this month.
What happened?
I forgot. Whenever it drops, I got to be part of an anime rap music video.
Yes to all of this. I'm excited. What's the song? Who's the artist?
It's called Lamb Truck, and he is a Cleveland artist called DJ El Tigre, and it was based off of an experience he had with a woman, and he wanted to turn it into a comedy video, and I was just like, bet.
That's hilarious, and I'm excited to see you in that video.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yes.
Well,
Danny, you are so famous. Sorry, Danny, you are so famous. Like, you have so many followers. Everybody be loving your cosplays. I'm like, Danny is one of them famous cosplayers. Yeah, bro. That's what I was thinking.
And you're one of them famous cosplayers.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
No, it's like everybody does so much on this team. The women on this team are lit. They're lit. Everybody is doing their thing in different avenues, and when we get the chance to bring it all together, it's always good times.
Yeah.
There's 7 days left in March.
Yep.
From when we're recording this. So if more wonderful things happen, y'all just gonna have to figure it out on your own, because we're not gonna tell you about it on this episode.
Google is free. Y'all can do it.
But we definitely wanted to use the Girls Talk episode in International Women's History Month to highlight some of the dope things that Black women pushed for this month specifically.
Yeah.
As well as highlighting things that we've seen a little more close to home with ourselves and our friends. So we hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe. You can find us always on @TheBlurredView on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. But individually, where can they find you, Ashley?
You can find me on Twitch as Ash the Conqueror 202. I'm at 130 followers. So I would like to get to 150. So if you would like to help me get to 150, go ahead and follow, and I'll do something special when I get to 150. And all my other social medias, on any other social media you can think of, is Ashley Allen Poe. Allen is spelled ALAN.
Danny, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me obviously here. Find me anywhere as NekoYasha09 on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Nekoyash on Facebook. And you can find me lurking as doing an admin duties for Black Cosplay Boosters. So, yeah.
Good stuff. And if you're looking for me or any Mermaid Moonchild type things, you can find me at mermaid.moonchild. The YouTube is Mermaid Moonchild, and on Twitter it's at Mermaid Moon 444 because Mermaid Moonchild is too long. So that's it for today, guys. This has been fun. Happy International Women's Month.
Yeah.
For the ladies of the Blurred View, minus Kai because she had to work, but that's because she's out here doing real shit.
Yep.
Making sure people are getting the vaccine so you can get it.
Oh yeah.
And I think we're out of here.
Yep. And we are out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Peace.